And hey, everybody, welcome in to Canandaigua Braves Soccer on the Canandaigua School District YouTube channel. As always, I am the Spaz Man, your round mound of sound. And it's my pleasure to be emanating at you live from Braves Field for this Monroe County matchup between the visiting Webster Thomas Titans and the host Canandaigua Braves. If you're just joining us, welcome in. It's a beautiful, beautiful night here at Braves Field on the campus of Canandaigua Academy, and it appears that Webster Thomas will be defending the southern goal, which is off to my right as I am facing due east towards Geneva. And that'll be Jason Reek. He's got 59 saves, 7 goals against in 980 minutes for the senior. Colby Howard back in the frame for Canandaigua coming into today, 40 saves, 10 goals against in 577 minutes for the senior. Canandaigua, again, very senior heavy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I come up with 21 seniors, and that's a lot. And speaking of coming up, moving up, shout out to the JV Braves who won their game 3-1. Was that Webster Thomas that they were playing? All right, so Canandaigua, the JV, beat Webster Thomas 3-1 in JV action as Reek is going to take his position between the pipes on the southern end of the pitch. On the northern end of the pitch will be, once again, Colby Howard. And speaking of which, once again, thank you for your sponsorship, Sean Howard, the Pond Guys at Clearly Aquatic. So Canandaigua once again defending the northern goal. Canandaigua at this point in time basically platooning in the goal between three players, Tiers, Tessina, and Howard. Oh, and Schussler was in there in place of Howard. So they've always got Schussler. He's a standout goalie in his own right. So Canandaigua sends it down. We are underway here at Braves Field, 2 40-minute halves. And again, Canandaigua coming into today at 4-7-3, and Thomas at 9-3-1. So on paper, it should go one way, but hey, anything can happen on any given day in any given game. I was going to say there have not been 30 shots on game already, fellas, in the first minute as the scoreboard operator clears and resets all of the shots and corners and saves and all that good stuff. So one more time, want to welcome everybody in on the Canandaigua School District YouTube channel. I'm the Spaz Man, your round mound of sound, and we are underway in Canandaigua looking to get something going here. And sometimes you have to go backward to go forward. That's all there is to it. So we're finally in the second minute here at 38-40. Left to play in the first. And Thomas dumps it up. Hey, what did I do there? Woo! All right, that's hey. The touch-tone screens can be your best friend or your worst enemy. It jumped up and bit me right there. Countryside Family Chiropractic was the commercial that was just about to start playing. So Thomas with the throw-in way over on the far side. Let's see if I can pull out the binocs and get a look and tell you who that is throwing that in. Man, he has a lot. He takes about 4 or 5 good steps, throws it right out in front. It's going to pinball around. Thomas finally turns on it. It gets turned away by Canandaigua, and here's a left footer, and it's good, man. And Webster Thomas is going to jump out to a 1-0 lead just like that. Boy, good luck. I gotta ask what number that was. Did you catch who it was, man? Hey, Thomas, what number scored that? Anybody, Thomas? What number scored that? Anybody know? Was it 10 or don't they know? Hey, I'll be right back with you, folks. All right, so we got it. It was number 10, Charlie Petzing, his first of the season. And as a freshman, that might have been his first ever. It could be his first ever, man, being a freshman. But Petzing puts it in, man, the freshman. So Thomas Petzing. Ball was just pinballing around out in front, and now liking it to hockey, you got to clear that thing out of there, man. You got to clear it out, and they were just able to turn on it. Petzing knocked it down, and I believe, like I said, unless he's gotten one when he was an 8th grader, that could be his first ever varsity goal. It came about, I'm going to call it 38 because I didn't get the exact. But just like that, Thomas, as I said, jumps out to a 1-0 lead in the 2nd minute here at Braves Field. And that was the result of that monstrous throw-in over on the far side by Corey Jarvis. And Jarvis is the one who scored the goal that beat Canandaigua when they played on the 15th. I mean, he puts it right out there in the middle of the box. And Thomas runs it down, and they are going to retain possession right around the 20, and they bump it up to about the 30 with 36:30 left to play here in the first. And not to beat a dead horse, but I think that was the first for Petzing, his first varsity goal. But ball is going to go out of bounds off of Churchville Chi-Line. When the ball goes out of bounds off of the defense, it's a goal kick, or I should say offense, folks. It's a goal kick for the defense. When it goes out of bounds on the end line off the defense, it's a corner kick. So here's Mullally, one of the offensive catalysts for Canandaigua, gives it to one of the other catalysts on offense, to Jonah Lawrence, but he gets his pocket picked, and now he seals out, gets it back, looking for a centering. He had, I believe, Furmansky cutting towards the goal, but he held it too long and then got his pocket picked. I don't know. Thomas sends it down and in. Here's Jarvis looking for another one here. Remember, he's the one that scored against Canandaigua. Dude, he had a really nice pass on a cutter, but the cutter did not see it coming. Here's a shot from up top around the 10-yard line, and then another one, and Howard has his first save in the books. I believe that's his first. 2 shots now for Webster Thomas, 1 save for Colby Howard. And it's always good to see somebody come back from an injury that takes you out for a little while. And Schuessler did a great job in his stead. But when you give up, when you put Schuessler, I've said it a million times, folks, you got to be sick of hearing me say it. When you put Schuessler in between the pipes, you give up him stalking the field. And you need him out there stalking the field, especially if a game is being physical. But they've got a nice line there. Lawrence and the Burks, Schuessler, those guys are not afraid to get physical. And even a Furmansky, who is, not the tallest guy on the field, but he has a lot of heart, and he's not afraid to get in there and scrap. None of them are. 34-20 left to play. Thomas up 1-0. Ball on the left alley, sends it right down the slot. Does a nice look. Now they go way out wide over on the far side on the right wing. Bring it back in, and it's going to be turned away by Furmansky. He kicks it on up to Mullally, but Mullally can't play it clean. It goes out of bounds, and it's going to go off of, I believe, Thomas. Nope, it's going to go off Canandaigua. Thomas throw in. That was one of those 50-50s. It's going to go either way. But referee Johnson, the official, he was right there to see it. Been a while since I've seen Cam. Nice to say hello and talk to him for a couple minutes. 33. He's a weights and measures guy. He goes around Ontario County and checks all the weights and measures at stores and gas stations. And, I was interested. I saw him at Wegmans one time. Sorry, I'm going off on one of my tangents. I saw him at Wegmans and asked him what he was doing, and he told me, and he was showing me all the equipment that he carries, the scales, the weights. I think that's pretty cool. But it's always nice to have somebody keeping everybody honest. Ball over on the far side, right around the 10-yard line, and it's going to go out of bounds off of, it looks like Thomas. It'll be a throw-in for Canandaigua. Cam Johnson, the official right there. I do not know the other two. Sometimes we have to wait for the officials to come from exhibition field doing the JV games. But that JV game, we're right on time here tonight. That got over soon enough. And again, Canandaigua pulling off the 3-1 victory over these same Thomas Titans. So the throw-in is here on the right side. Here's Wolf. Draws a lot of attention, goes down into the corner looking to get it. There's a handball, no call. That was definitely a handball, dude. Absolutely, man. But you know what? Let him play on. Let him play on. Here's Jarvis. Jarvis sends it back up, but it's going to get kicked down by the Shoes. Shoes kicks it down, and now Thomas transitions into offense. Now over on the right wing, Griffin Harview on the defense, and he's going to pick the pocket and turn on it and is unable to carry it, but he kicks it up line right along the sideline, and the head ball is going to go to Furmansky, who's going to send it down to Mullally, who wins the foot race to get to it right around the 10-yard line, puts the brakes on, and gets back to Furmansky, back to Mullally. He comes down, lets it go, and it's good. So Mullally is going to tie this thing up at 31-36. That was a fantastic give and go from Mullally to Furmansky, back to Mullally. The give and the go both worked out just fine on the left-hand side, and then Mullally brings it down, lets the right-hander go, and is able to beat Reek to tie this thing up 1-1 at 31-36 left to play. 31-36, 1-1. Just Mullally, so Mullally from Furmansky is good for Canandaigua to tie this thing up 1-1. So Zane Mullally is going to pick up his ninth of the season. And as I said, that was a beautiful give and go, a nice little try. All those give and goes, they seem to work best when you run them in a triangular pattern, no doubt about that. And that's what they did. And ball is going to go out of bounds here on the other end, and looks like it's going to result in a corner kick for Thomas. And doing that's going to be Quinn Helsdorfer, the sophomore. There's a couple Helsdorfers on this team. The other one being Bryce. He's a little older. He's a senior. So the younger Helsdorfer is going to do the corner kick, and that's a great ball right out in front. But Howard is going to come out, seal out any chance of Thomas getting that play, and he's just going to grab that thing, snatch it right out of the air. And here comes he's working on, I do believe somebody told me he's still working on some bad wheels, so he's not getting the kind of power behind his kicks that he would like to. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. As long as now, I was told that he kind of, just was called into action as a goalie, and it stuck. And he's done a great job here for Canandaigua thus far. So it's always interesting to hear coaches and players and parents talk about, how different things can be between, let's say, doing travel or AAU and then Scholastic. It's always, the dynamic is always interesting. Canandaigua, Austin Wolf wants that one back. Austin Wolf, as soon as it left his foot, he wanted that back. I think he was too far out. He was around the 20, so that would have been a 30-yard kick there, or a 30-yard scoring attempt. But he didn't get any juice behind that, but he did get first touch. He headed that, and then some English when it came down, got it to Poisson, but Thomas is able to kick it down into the red zone. So here comes Thomas in transition, and what do we got here? I think it's going to go out of bounds. It does. It looks like it's going to go out of bounds on the end line and result in a goal kick for Canandaigua. Want to once again welcome everybody. I was told there's a grandpa listening and watching out in Troy, New York. I go out that way not every basketball season, but whenever one of the local teams is playing in Troy at the college, I go out that way and call some basketball in the state tournament for the girls. 1-1, man. One shot for Canandaigua, and it was a good one. It was a good one by Mullally off the give and go. And a great feed by Fermansky on the give and go. And then Mullally just walked it down one-on-one, put it in, and there wasn't a whole lot Reek could do. Reek gave up the goal, or he didn't hug the upright on the near side, but Mullally found that empty space, and here comes Thomas back into transition in the end zone out in front, but Sickles is going to come through and kick that out. Sickles just saved a goal right there, because that would have been right in Howard's grill if he was able to get that shot off. He would have had to turn on it, but Sickles turned in, or I should say stepped in and clear kicked that out. And that was a nice little aggressive play there by Carter Sickles. Basketball player. I don't know if he plays anything else. Do you do baseball or anything of that nature, or is he just two sports? Not saying just as in, a negative connotation. I mean, just as in, is that how many he does? 27-20 left to play in our 13th minute here at Braves Field. 2 40-minute halves. Canandaigua knotted up with Webster Thomas 1-1. You don't play the record, you play the team. And I'm telling you, nice job by Colby Howard to be in the right spot, to be able to draw that in, snatch it right out of the air. And every time I say that, all I can think of is the one Harry Potter movie with the snatchers, snatch them. But you a Harry Potter guy? You watch all the, all the Harry Potters. We were kind of into it a little bit, But I like that fantasy kind of thing a little bit. Wouldn't that be cool, though, if you found out something like that is real? I mean, that'd be cray-cray. I'd be kind of mad that I wasn't involved. How come you didn't come and get me? 26-26. Here's Jonah Lawrence with the header trying to control it. Man, I'll tell you, he is not afraid to get into a little bit of scrap. Here is Elliott out there now, number 2. Casey Elliott, the senior. He has an ample on the season, and it goes out of bounds, and that will be a corner kick for Canandaigua. And Jonah Lawrence, he has the foot on the corner kick. So let's see how Canandaigua sets up. And Spinelli, they've got Spinelli right out in front. I'll tell you, that was a hard one, and Schuessler tried to come in and knock it down. I think maybe just a little too tall. If the shoes can't get to it, it might be just a little too tall, but it was no doubt a laser, and it was out where it had to be. I mean, that thing was just one head away from being knocked down, and Canandaigua taking the lead. Here we are, 25-30 left to play. Throw in for Canandaigua around the 15 over on the far side. They toss it in, and it's going to pinball around, and Schutz is going to drop it down. And, oh, man, I'll tell you, that was close. Reek had to he had to double check on that one, and then he's going to throw it up here along the sideline. That was a really nice throw. Really nice ball. Here's Jarvis, the stone cold killer, in that 1-0 win for Thomas on the 15th of September when Canandaigua went up to Titan Stadium. And ball is going to go out of bounds. And remember, if you're watching and you go, wait a minute, that ball was out. It doesn't matter if part of the ball was out. The whole ball has to go out of bounds. The whole ball. So there you go. 99.99% of the time you can trust the officials to make the right call. It's just that 0.1 that's the problem. 24-24 left to play here in the first half. And nice job by Schutz to bump that back out to midfield with his head. Mullally picks it up, but he gets his pocket picked. And Thomas is going to transition. And Jarvis putting a little bit of a fake ski on there. Lets the left footer go, and that's going to go wide right. Scott Norwood in the house goes wide right. And I don't – he's jawing – Jarvis is jawing at one of his teammates, and his body language is telling me that he's upset. He's upset with something his teammate did, and I don't get it. I don't know if he wasn't maybe in a position to get a pass that Jarvis wanted to send off or whatever. Did you see that? Were you look? All right, I'm just saying that his body language was telling me that he was upset with his teammate Caleb Jones. Now Caleb Jones, he's got 3, and he's got the ball right at midfield. No, that's 5. That's 5 that had it. That was that's Vladimir Levernenko. That's a hockey name. That is a hockey name, and here he is up along the near side. Man, that dude has got some fancy footwork, man, and he is going to get tangled up with Elliott, and then Elliott is going to unceremoniously just walk away from him. That's Caleb Jones, the sophomore, and that dude has what we call happy feet, man. He looks like he'd rather try to dribble into trouble and then out than to maybe look for a little bit of help way over here on the near side, drawing that double and triple team. Anytime you draw more than one, somebody is going to be open. Dump down and in, and the header is going to go out of bounds, and let's see who the official calls that off of. It's going to be called off of Canandaigua, so it'll be a corner kick for Canandaigua. Nice job by Brendan Adams, the senior, to dump that down and in and try to make something happen. So here is Thomas on the corner kick, their second of the game. They now have 2 shots, and that's a worm burner. And, I think Fermansky caught that right in the chest, but he just keeps on moving as if nothing happened. It goes all the way over to the far right alley where Jarvis is going to pick it up, and they're going to have to reset. And it's going to go out of bounds off of Thomas over on the far side. Like I said, regular season coming to a close on Friday for everybody involved. The ladies will be playing here. They'll be hosting Livonia, the Bulldogs, and Canandaigua will be road tripping out to Hilton near the lake. I mean, how much longer are we going to be able to enjoy this Indian summer? But I'll tell you what, Brian, I don't know about you. I am ready for some snow. I love snow. Christmas is only like 11 weeks away. My beard is coming in full. I'm getting bookings. It's going to be a great holiday season. I don't know if I told you this or not, but a week before last Christmas, I caught the Rona. Ruined. It was the worst Christmas of our lives. And then her timing chain skips, and it just wasn't. I was in. I think I went to the hospital on Christmas, if not the day after. Yep, spent a week in there. Got out in time for New Year's though. Yeah, told the doctors I'm walking out if they don't release me. 20:40 left to play. Canandaigua with it here down in the nice job by Elliott to try to give Mullally an opportunity, but it was just a little too tall. And Thomas sends it out here up near midfield. That was a nice job there by Cole Hastings. He's got 3 goals on the season for the senior. Nice job to control that and give Thomas an opportunity to set up. Now it's over here with Trevor Ross, the senior. Back over in the slot with Hastings. Now over to the far alley. Back up along the sideline of the football field. Turned away by Canandaigua. DJ Spachelski in the game now for Canandaigua. Spachelski, a junior. He has a goal and 2 assists on the season thus far. 2 corner kicks for Webster Thomas. 1 for Canandaigua. A save credited to Colby Howard on 2 shots. No saves on 1 shot because that 1 shot Canandaigua had was a goal. A little bit of contact there. I don't think that was anything malicious by Cole Burke, but he wrecked who was right in front of him when he lost his footing. So, free kick for the Titans. He's going to send it right down and in, and it's going to be turned away. Oh, man. Whew. I'll tell you, first it was off the head of Rottingen, and then I can't tell if that went off of Canandaigua or not, but it ends up going out of bounds. And that could have been scary for Canandaigua. Shoes sends it all the way up to midfield. Spachelski tries to get first touch, ends up with the Titans, but here's Elliott. Nice job getting away from the defense, tries to come over to Cole Burke, and it's going to get kicked out of bounds off of the Titans. 18-20, and it's a running clock, folks. It only stops on goals, injuries, or, substitutions, or when the official says, hey, stop the clock. See, now, it's running right now with substitutions. What's the rule? Substitute in 3 minutes or?
Yeah, if the team winning subs, then they
Okay, all right. And how many minutes is it?
3 or 5.
Okay, 3 or so in the waning moments, if the winning team is substituting, the clock will stop. So a little bit over the head for the intended receiver, Jonah Lawrence, and that's going to allow the Titans to kick it all the way up to midfield. But Owen Schuessler gets a piece of it, dumps it down to Wolf, and Wolf is going to go back to go forward. And they send it down and in, pinballing around. Griffin Harvey trying to get in on it, ends up getting pushed around a little bit. He'll remember that, no doubt. So Thomas in transition, they kick it, and I don't know, that dude was trying to center it, but he had Griffin Harvey standing right in front of him. It goes out of bounds off of Harvey. 17:05 left to play. So throw in over on the far side, right around the 40 for the Titans. Kicked out of bounds by Canandaigua. 16:45 left to play. Knotted up at ones. Both teams with a straight number. Got two straight lines. Zane Mullally getting the give and go from Liam Formansky. Now here is Cole Burke. He sends it up along the far side, but nobody in a cherry and gray white jersey there to, run it down. So whatever, man. Might have been a little stronger. That might have been what he wanted to do and was just hoping somebody was going to get to it. But there's Shoes again. That dude, I'll tell you what, man. By the end of this game, how is that dude's bell not rung? Ooh, Formansky ends up down on the carpet. Hop right back up. It's kind of wild how the same numbers match up with each other on the opposing team a lot. And Schuessler with a great job of picking that pocket. And what do we have over here? That slide tackle by Thomas. All right, what's Cam doing? Cam runs in there and straightening things out. Wonder if he's checking to make sure if he's all right. Nope, definitely not. He's okay. Is that a card in his hand? I was thinking, nope. All right, so pinball's right around the 40s. Formansky trying to dribble through trouble, can't, gets his pocket picked, and here comes the Titans back the other way. Pass over to the far alley. Wolf in on the defense is going to poke it away, but the Titans are able to run it back down. Boy, Wolf playing really hard. Here is a centering pass attempt. Burke is going to get a piece of it, send it back up towards midfield. Or I should say Formansky sends it back up towards midfield after Mason Burke scored his first varsity goal of the season, first goal of the season last game, and earned our Kicks on Main Player of the Game accolade. Doesn't get him anything other than bragging rights to say, hey, Spaz Man thinks I was the player of the game. But 14-10 left to play here. Now Thomas dribbling, zigging, zagging. Look at that. You see Shoes just stick the foot up there and knock that down. I do believe that's the first time I've seen that. Thomas tenacious on those 50-50s. No doubt about that. Loose ball over on the far side. Spachelski trying to run it down. Can't. Thomas is going to run it down. Gets by the double team, and it's going to go out of bounds off of the Titans and be a goal kick for Canandaigua. Chiropractic care is a great addition to any wellness regimen, and Dr. Jody at Countryside Family Chiropractic has a mission to provide high-quality health care in an atmosphere that is comfortable to people of all ages. Want to thank Countryside Family Chiropractic for their support here on Chosen Spot Radio. Dr. Jody, I'm telling you, she comes back season after season, and I appreciate it very much. Harvey with it right around the 30 is going to go back to go forward. Burke sends it up to Spachelski. He can't play it clean, pinballing around between the 40s. Now it gets dumped down in, and here comes Lawrence along the left alley. He makes a nice move. He's going to, I thought he was going to get one off with the right foot, and it's going to end up going out of bounds off of the Titans, so that will be a corner kick for Canandaigua. Lawrence, I'll tell you what, he carried that thing right across the slot and held on to it. Oh, it wasn't a corner kick. It was a throw-in for Canandaigua. I thought that went out on the end line. Pay better attention, Spaz, man. Wolf is going to run that pass down. Burke with another sent down. Spachelski is going to get it over on the far side, but he is immediately going to draw defensive attention, and that ball's going to be kicked out of the pitch area over on the far side. Almost ended up in the box lacrosse field way over there on the far eastern portion of the facility here at Canandaigua Academy. 3 shots now for the Titans, 1 for Canandaigua, and it counted. It counted off of the leg of Mullally. Here's a throw in for Canandaigua, way over on the far side. Man, you got to be in great shape to play this game. I mean, Shoes is everywhere. He drops back to play defense. He comes up to take kicks and throw-ins. Anyway, ball out here now for Thomas right at midfield. And Shoes is going to kick that away. He kicks that away from Boston DeWitt, the junior, with 3 goals. I wonder if someone in that family is a Red Sox fan. Why else would you name your kid Boston, right? Right? And as a Yankees fan, I'm gonna remain diplomatic. I don't want to say anything to get myself in trouble. I'm just gonna simply say, go Yankees. I'm a little bummed out my guy Kyle Larson got eliminated from the NASCAR title race, but Tim McCready is going to win the Lucas Oil late model, so I'm all right with that. Sorry about talking racing. 10:35 left to play here. Canandaigua and Webster Thomas tied up 1-1. Nice job by Mason Burke to get a piece of that pass that was intended for Jarvis. And remember, I'll say it 100 more times, Jarvis, the one that scored that goal on the 15th of September when Canandaigua lost to the same Titans 1-0 at Titan Stadium in Webster. Boy, Jarvis puts it right in there, and off the header, Colby Howard is going to drop down to the knee and scoop that up, no problem, with 10 minutes left to play here in the first half. In our 31st minute here at Braves Field, and Mullally's going to come up with it right at midfield. He's going to carry it down the left alley, and he's going to draw the double team. And he beats the double. He centers it. Oh, but there was nothing on it. There was nothing on it. He wasn't able, because he had that double team, he wasn't able to stop, set, and turn on the ball. He had to hit that in motion, and because of that double team. So nice job by the Titans to put that pressure on. Here is Austin Wolf with a really nice takeaway. A really nice takeaway on Trevor Ross. He gets it to Sickles. Sickles tries to come up to Fermansky. It gets kicked around. Ends up back with Canandaigua. And here sends it all the way down into the Titans defensive end. Now back into the going back and forth. Lawrence gets a header. Mullally puts it down. Lawrence is going to run it down, but it's going to be kicked out of bounds. No, it stays in play. It stays in play. Brendan Adams, the senior, he's got a goal. He really put a foot behind that thing. Had a lot of height. 8:35 left to play here at Braves Field. Knotted up 1-1, the Braves and the Titans of Webster Thomas. Thomas, I believe, the number 2 seed right now in Section 5. Canandaigua, the number 12 seed. You know who the number 1 seed is? That would be the Eagles of Wayne, who my 8-year-old granddaughter cheers for, and they won the Canandaigua cheer competition. You go, girl. Be loud and proud. And Lawrence tries to send it down and in on the right side to, or I should say the other way around. Mullally trying to get it to Lawrence, but can't. Here comes Thomas in transition. The Canandaigua defense playing pretty stout, though, thus far. Actually, both teams. Nice defensive battle here thus far. There you saw the attempted pass down and in, and it was turned away by Canandaigua. 7:25 left to play, and ball will go out of bounds and be a throw-in for Canandaigua. Oh, they called a foul. Okay, I was going to say, wait a minute, the way Schussler's walking over there. So they call a foul, and it'll be a free kick for Schussler right at the 15-yard line on the sideline. And he gets it down here for Mullally. Mullally can't play it clean, so Thomas is going to dump it back into the Canandaigua defensive end. Mason Burke puts a head on it, though. Here is Rottingen along the right side up to Wolf, a little too strong off of his leg, or off of his foot, I should say. And Wolf lost possession, and now they're going to call the foul on Wolf over here on the near side, and that will be a free kick for the Titans. Brendan Adams, the senior. He'll take it right about the 48-yard line, right on the sideline. The official is going to come in, and he wants Formansky back. How long do they have to be back? 10 yards? 10 yards, yeah. So, listen, man. I mean, it could be gamesmanship. Oh, Jarvis with the header off the upright. Jarvis with the header off the free kick. Whew. Whew. Jarvis, I'll tell you what, man. Let me set the table for you here. Brendan Adams put that down. Brendan Adams put that down, and Jarvis with the header right around the 6-yard line. Wow, that was close. Jarvis right about the 6-yard line with the header off the right upright. And when I say right and left, I mean as if you're a player looking at the goal, unless otherwise notified. But that was close, but we stay 1-1 with 5:20 left to play here in the first half. Here's Lawrence, settles down, gives to Formansky. Here's Wolf, and this is where all those drills that you see them going through at the beginning of the game. I'll tell you what, Wolf was breaking down the right-hand side, and Brendan Adams, the senior, he comes in and breaks that up, so it'll be a throw-in for Lawrence. Here is Formansky. He has a goal this season. Let's see, Liam Formansky, he's got 2 goals. He's got 2 goals and 2 assists. Boy, look at that harvest moon all the way over there. That looks beautiful. What a view. What a view. It's a beautiful night. We've got the harvest moon. Nice shade of red out there on the east. Not quite full. Here's Lawrence, tries to do the back kick to Formansky. Ends up losing it, though. And here he is on the steal, though. The steal coming back the other way. Oh, I was going to say, let that go, kid. But he did not have a good slot. He did not have a good seam to be able to really take that shot as we were about to bust into 4 minutes left to play. What's that? Nice. There is the harvest moon. You see it on YouTube. Nice job, Brian. It's beautiful. It's red. And so, listen, support your farmers no matter what. Go grab some squash. Go grab their winter fare. If they still have, heads of corn, grab those as well. And don't be the guy or the gal that rips them all open to look at them before you take them. Just run the risk, man. Just risk it and buy it, take it home, and check it out. But support your local farmers, because without them, we don't eat. Plain and simple. Thomas, right at the 30-yard line. Great game, man. Great game here between Thomas and Canandaigua. Whew. Nice job sending it down along the left alley, but Rottingen is going to kick it out of bounds. I don't know. I think he might. Was he saying that that was deflected off of Thomas? And it is. They are going to say. So Rottingen is going to win that one. He clapped his hands and then gave that it was tip sign that we all use, with the hands, and one of them is going up towards the top, and they gave it to him, man. All right, so Canandaigua with the goal kick. Here's Shoes. Right on the letter A in Braves in the end zone. The goals are set right up along the end zone line, the end line of the end zones on each end. 225. I think I was redundant there in that statement. I was going to say, come on, man, you can't push like that right in front of the official. Cam even said that, too. He's like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? So my dude Cole Hastings got busted on that one. Little push action on the goal kick. And the official Cam was about 5 yards away, and he put his hands up and said, what are you doing, man? That was funny. Under 2 minutes. And Shoes sends it down and in, and Acuff wasn't having any of that on that head, man. But sent up by Thomas. And here comes Jarvis. He's going to carry it up along the right side. Nice ball down into the corner, but a little too strong. And Thomas was not able to run that down. Nice ball by Jarvis for Quinn Helsdorf for the sophomore, but Quinn was unable to, shift it into the gear that he needed to use to get to that. Hey, Mrs. Spaz, man, if you're listening, pick me up a Wendy's Baconator, will you? I want to cheat tonight. Acuff down the left-hand side. It's a 2-on-1 breakaway. Oh, man. It was a 2-on-1 breakaway. Acuff on the left side, Elliott on the right-hand side. If Acuff was able to get that to Elliott, that would have been a 1-on-1 situation with Elliott and Reek. And, man, Canandaigua might have taken their first lead just in the waning moments of the first half. So Canandaigua taking a lot of good positive stuff with them into the locker room here at the break. So, Coach Annecy, I would love to be a fly on the wall to see how that works out. 35. Here's Lawrence. And he is going to get sealed out. And he is going to end up doing battle with it. End up with it on the end line. Oh, man. And he can't center it. He had Mullally. Mullally was there. But he had at least 3, if not 4, Titans in front of him. So with 14 seconds and the clock running, here's the corner. It's out in front. Oh, man. It gets kicked out. So with 5 seconds left to go, Thomas is going to get it over on the corner or on the far side. It goes out of bounds, and time will expire on the first half. Whew, man, that was close. I'll tell you what. Like I said, Canandaigua can take a lot of positives into the break. They are putting a lot of pressure on this Webster Thomas team with 9 wins. They've got 9 wins on the season, 9-3-1 overall coming in to tonight. So that's why you play the game. If you went, oh, man, on paper this team should win, and you don't play the game, I mean, you got anything can happen on any given day. Hey, listen, I'm going to step aside, raise a little bit of revenue. Thanks for tuning in here on ChosenSpotRadio.com, and say hey to everybody watching on the Canandaigua School District YouTube channel. Canandaigua Braves soccer tied with Webster Thomas 1-1 at the half.
Hey, this is Todd Allen with Eagle Insurance. You're listening to Chosen Spot Radio.
Never again misplace, misfile, or lose another invoice. Save time and money sitting at your desk or even when you're out cheering on Canandaigua to victory, as PayFile IQ runs your invoice and payment approval process for you. It doesn't matter if your company processes hundreds or even thousands of invoices, even expense reports. PayFile IQ software will solve problems you don't even know you have with technology you won't believe. Call Todd Kellman today at 585-317-2020. Your approval is his top priority. PayFile IQ. Wally's at 16 Phoenix Street in the heart of downtown Canandaigua is a great place for great food, a great time, and great people. Families of all ages dine in for the prize-winning Wally Burger. Nick C. says it's the best place in town for awesome food. Rick S. loves the chicken wings, and Sean R. loves that there is plenty of space to enjoy the food and ambiance. You can reach owner Chrissy and her staff at 585-394-2178. Open 7 days a week for your enjoyment. You'll love what we've done with the place. Wally's Grill. Advertising on Chosen Spot Radio not only garners your business exposure, it also creates good karma points by helping me to provide old school radio coverage online for people who cannot view video streams, like to watch video streams and listen to our play-by-play, or when there is no stream at all. Families that live out of town, community members, friends, students, coaches, and many more tune in and appreciate your support. Every game is immediately archived, and players love to listen to hear their names. Coaches utilize information gleaned, and parents love to hop in the time machine and listen to games from when their kids played. People from all over the world tune in, as well as people who live and work in the communities that we serve, and you advertise too. Reasonably priced and more bang for the buck. Contact me ASAP for details on how you can help me help you increase your footprint while helping your community. Chosen Spot Radio. All right, welcome back in, fans. Canandaigua Braves boys soccer here on the station for Braves Nation, the home for high school sports, Chosen Spot Radio. I am the Spaz Man. The concession stand is open. Say hey, everyone in the concession stands. Or I should say concession stand. It's not like there's more than one. But hopefully Mrs. Spazman heard me tell her to grab me one of those greasy, nasty Baconators, man. I want to cheat. I've been behaving myself, taking my medicine. Down to about 288. So I'm going to cheat if I can. So somebody text Mrs. Spazman and tell her I want one of those greasy Baconators. 3:05 left to go here in halftime. Knotted up 1-1 between Webster Thomas and Canandaigua. And I think Canandaigua, they're stepping up at the right time. There's no doubt about that. Stepping up at the right time. They had a tough game against Spencerport. That was a tough game. They lost that one 3-1. Canandaigua football, excuse me, they play Irondequoit this Saturday, and that is a game that I anticipated being able to broadcast. But with it being in Irondequoit, I normally do not get very good reception at that stadium, whether it's football or lacrosse. I normally do not get very good reception, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that game or not. I'm really not sure. And then on Friday, like I said, both the ladies and the boys play, and if any sponsors want to step up and help me do either one of those games, I will gladly do as such. The boys are at Hilton, and the ladies are here home against Livonia, the Bulldogs. So Hilton, the Cadets. So whenever I'm doing a character, I used to do Uncle Billy for the It's a Wonderful Life Festival in Seneca Falls, and that was a great time. But whenever I asked somebody where they were from, and they would give me, a random school somewhere in New York, and then I would go, oh, so you're, and tell them what their mascot is, and they'd always go, how do you know that? It was like, I'm Uncle Billy, man. Uncle Billy. Uncle Billy. You ever watch, you like It's a Wonderful Life, Brian? You ever watch that? Absolutely. You ever been to the festival?
Not to the festival. We went there to that place.
Oh, okay. I got you there, man. You should check out the It's a Wonderful Life Festival. I used to play Uncle Billy there. I'm unable to do that now. But did you ever see the movie Driving Miss Daisy? I played Bully Worthen. I played the son in the stage version for the Seneca Community Players. Yes, I played Bully Worthen. It was a great time. Quick story. I've always got a story. The decorator, the person that, the art department put this thick carpet on the floor. It just as we were about to, go with our first performance. And like an idiot, I said, somebody's going to trip on that thing. Guess who tripped on it, man? I did. I tripped on it, and I just looked at it, and then I looked up at the crowd as if to say I knew that it was going to be me. It was great. That's what I always liked about the difference between acting in a film and acting on stage or wrestling. Brian, get a look at that moon, man. That moon is now brilliant. It's no longer red now, and it is full. That is definitely a full harvest moon right there, buddy. I'll tell you that. Nice job. So, when you're on a film and you make a mistake, or when you're acting in a film and you make a mistake, they just go cut and you redo it, no matter how many takes you need to get it. With me, I always did it on one take, but they always did. And yes, I am bragging. They always do 2 or 3 for safety. We say, all right, 1 more for safety. And then in stage and when I was wrestling, it's immediate. You make a mistake, you have to work your way through it. You have to work your way through it because that feedback is live and instant. And here we go. So first touch is going to go to Webster Thomas. Canandaigua has to they have to keep Webster Thomas from being able to use this possession to get up on him the same way they did in just a couple minutes at the beginning of the game. And then I think if we can settle into a nice little back and forth, here's Acuff, and that's a nice stop for Canandaigua. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. They needed to not let Webster Thomas use that first possession as an opportunity to go up 2-1. Okay, so I'll tell you what, at the top of the Kicks On Main Player of the Game watch list, you have to put Zane Mullally. There's no doubt about that. You have to put Mullally right at the top, the senior scoring the goal. You have to put Fermansky in the conversation as well for giving him that assist on that give and go. It was beautiful. So we're finally a minute in, and Canandaigua's done a great job of clearing that out here to midfield. Neither team has really been dominant on ball possession, and Thomas does dump it down into the corner. Acuff, good job on defense. And Acuff is going to pick the pocket and come away with it. Brings it up along the edge, though, and draws a lot of attention, gets sealed out. Not a whole lot he can do. See, now that was good field communication. You could see it, but Lawrence is going to go against 3 Titans and come away with it. He's going to send it for Wolf over on the far side, and here comes Canandaigua in transition. Wolf gets by the defense, feeds Mullally down along the right wing. He's down along the 10-yard line, and he's going to get his pocket picked. Nice job by the Titans. That was exciting for me. The way Canandaigua transitioned into offense. And if you ask me, I think that's been kind of an Achilles heel for Canandaigua, getting off and into the transition and finishing, obviously, but that was really nice. It's all see now. Looking at that full moon, it doesn't necessarily look full. We've got a player down. We've got a Thomas Titan player down on the field right about the 32, 33-yard line. So he is going to get up, and I believe that is number 8, Caleb Jones, the sophomore. 3 goals on the season. Remember, that was Petzing scoring what I believe was his first ever varsity goal, unless he scored one when he was a freshman or an 8th grader. And you don't see a whole lot of 8th graders playing varsity soccer. So Petzing scoring his first ever varsity goal for the Titans, and Mullally scoring his 9th of the season for Canandaigua, and we're knotted up 1-1. So let's see where the ball is for the restart after that injury. It's going to be right at the Thomas 44-yard line. And when I say that, Thomas is now defending the northern goal, shooting on the southern goal, and vice versa. Canandaigua defending the southern, shooting on the northern. Mullally, right wing, trying to make something happen. Draws a ton of attention, man. He draws a lot of attention. It's going to go out of bounds off of Thomas, and it'll be a throw-in for the Braves. They get it into Lawrence. Lawrence tries to soft touch it, get it in control, and does. He turns on it, but just as he does, he's going to be defended well by the Titans, and it'll go out of bounds off of Thomas and be a throw-in for Lawrence. Lawrence into Wolf, flying in. It's going to end up getting clear kicked out by the Titans. And here comes Thomas in transition over here on the right alley. Nice ball movement for the Titans. And Acuff is just going to come in, and Acuff is not afraid to get physical with Charlie Petzing. And it's going to get dumped down and in, and Jarvis is going to run it down. Jarvis sends it back up and splits the defense and then lets it go, and then it's going to get knocked down before it gets through to Howard. I believe that was Sickles that made that play. I believe that was Sickles that Carter Sickles that made that. Hey, Grandpa, your grandson definitely made a nice play there. I believe that was Sickles, but that's going to result in a corner kick for the no, it's a throw-in for the Titans, and it's Jarvis, and it's just the same as a corner kick. So, I mean, this is this is Webster Thomas's Owen Schussler. I mean, that dude let it go. Now, this is going to be a corner kick as it went out of bounds on the end line off of Canandaigua. Jarvis just launched that thing, put it right out in front. It didn't have the zip, the zing or the speed that a corner kick would have, but it was where it had to be. And I believe that is Quinn Helsdorfer doing the corner kick, and it goes through over Howard's head. It is going to be kept in over on the far side by the Titans, and the Titans try to drop it in from way out by around the 15. It's going to go out of bounds, and it will result in a corner kick, or I should say, sorry, folks, a goal kick for Canandaigua. That's what I get for trying to do three things at once. 35-25, left to play. Very good one-to-one battle going on here at Braves Field, man. This is a great game between the Titans of Webster Thomas and the Braves of Canandaigua. Poisson is going to go to Burke, and Burke is going to try to send it upfield, and it's going to go out of bounds. 35. Now, Brian, do you send him ESP when he does that? You send him any ESP? Don't do that again. Don't do that again, or you're riding on top of the van on the way home. Wait, I'm probably the only – am I the only dad coach that ever said that to his kid? Man, 34-40. I never strapped him to the top of the van. Made him run behind it a few times, but 34-30 left to play here. Knotted up at 1. 5 shots for Webster Thomas, 2 for Canandaigua. And Canandaigua trying to transition. They get it to the guy who can make things happen, Mullally, but it's going to go out of bounds, and Mullally's going to plead his case, and he's going to win. It is going to go out of bounds off of Webster Thomas. I'm not trying to say that he – shut up. 34 left to play here in the second half. Knotted up 1-1. Mullally, he's the one you want to have that ball over on the wing. He gets it into Acuff. Acuff gets tripped up. It's going to pinball around. Poisson's going to come up and do a little bit of battle, and he'll get his pocket picked. But that kick is going to go off of Poisson and end up down there with Reek. And that's one of those situations where if that goalie is sleeping, if he's, wishing he was anywhere else but here, he might get burned. Jarvis is going to pick it up. Now, this kid's a little bit fun to watch, man. He's got those long, lanky legs. He's a little fun to watch. I'm not so sure about the man bun, but 33-15, Acuff is going to pick it up, send it over to Wolf. Wolf is going to control it around the hash marks and then give it up, gets his pocket picked, tries to go and tackle it back, tries to kick it out and just can't. Nice job by Wolf to stay with it, though. They dump it down and in, and Rottingen, no, I don't know. I can't tell what number that is. That's I think the most difficult area of the field to see. Now, I can tell that's Wolf. He sends it up to Mullally, who picks it up one bounce off the chest, controls it, and is going to go to Furmansky over here on the near side. Furmansky puts on the brakes, nutmegs it through, and, he ends up getting his pocket picked, and Thomas will come back. And if you don't know what a nutmeg is, it's just between the legs. That's all. That's all a nutmeg is. You know what a nutmeg is, right? Yeah, that's all it is. It's between the legs. Up to Jarvis, and Jarvis is – hold on a second here. Let's see. So Jarvis put it down off the top of the crossbar, and then it ended up hitting the football crossbar of the field goal upright, and then it came down, and then Jarvis headed it in, and he immediately turned to the official to try to plead his case. But the official's like, no, stop that. So I'll tell you what, I got to give Jarvis credit for trying to get that goal, but Oh, we got somebody down for Mansky, I think, got wrecked over there on the far side. So, like I said, you can't blame Jarvis for pleading his case and upping the gamesmanship just a little bit, especially in a game that with 31-31 left to play is still knotted up 1-1, and it's been that way for a bit now. It's been that way since the 31-36 mark of the first half. So both teams able to knock one down in the first half, and we're knotted up 1-1 with 31-20 left to play. All right, so Schussler with the free kick along the right-hand side, sends it down and out in front. Here's Acuff. He gets a piece of it, lets it go, and it was deflected off of one of the Titans. I did not see that dude because he was hidden by another guy, and I thought that was going to be a one-on-one deal between Acuff and Reek, but a nice job by the defense of Webster Thomas to turn that thing away because that was a great look for Canandaigua. It does not result in a recorded shot, so they're still with just two. Boy, I'll tell you what, goes out of bounds, and a great job on the foot race and the hustle by Canandaigua. 30-35, and that'll be a corner kick for the Titans. This will be their fourth. 6 shots for Webster Thomas. Out in front, headed away by Schussler. So Schuss, the big bird, gets a header on it, sends it all the way over to the far alley along the side. Burt comes in, tries to break it up. They get rid of it, though, before Burt gets there. And they're going to end up with Jarvis over on the right alley. Harvey breaks that up, though. Oh, man, that was deflected, and Howard with a great save. Man, Thomas turned on that one. It was a laser. That got deflected. I don't know who it came off of. And Howard with the arm, sticking the arm out to make the save. Huge save for Colby Howard. Huge to keep Canandaigua in this thing 1-1 with 29:30 left to play. No, that's all right. We're even. Both teams have gotten away with one. But, right, both teams have gotten away with one. Let them play. Sometimes you just miss those things, and I think way out here it doesn't really matter. 29-10 left to play. Ball over on the far side goes out of bounds off of Canandaigua, so it will be a throw-in for Webster Thomas. Boy, as more time goes by, that moon gets more and more beautiful. It's crazy. It's crazy when you think about the planets and, you know, how big the sun really is. It's just crazy. 28:45 left to play. What a world we live in. Throw in is loose, and it's going to end up with Colby Howard. So Howard brings it up, and I think he wants to push the pace. He wants to push everybody up. Great ball. Great ball for Mullally, who does a great job of controlling it. Now, he had Lawrence on the cutter, but Lawrence was defended well. Mullally brings it over, but he doesn't move. Reek with the quick save and rollout here on the right-hand side, and here comes Thomas in transition. Nice give and go, and I'll tell you what, this game has definitely, the pace is being pushed. Oh, a lot of contact, little bit. Poisson is going to get called for the foul from behind. 28 even left to play. You can feel it. Things have ramped up just a little bit here, and the pace is definitely picked up here. Definitely. The pace has now gone to, we got to break this tie. And with 27:40 left to play, this will be a direct kick, I believe, for Webster Thomas. They can put this right on goal. And it's going to be Quinn Helsdorfer, the sophomore. And he tries to angle it in, and Howard, dangerous to not come out and get that, and it's going to be headed away. Boy, that was dangerous for the Braves. Still in the slot, still pinballed around. Boy, I'll tell you what, Howard has got to be going, where is it? Where is it, man? What a great job Here he's going to pick this one up. Nice job to turn on that by Trevor Ross. Whew. I'll tell you what, Canandaigua, again, fortunate to come out with 1-1 with 27 left to play. Nice job by Howard to get that out. And that one happened right in front of the officials, so there's no getting away with that one. Definitely a handy on that one. 26:40 left to play. 26:40, knotted up 1-1. 2 shots for Canandaigua, 8 shots for Webster Thomas with 4 credited saves. Schuessler dumps it down and in, and here's a big rebound. And I'd have to think that if Mullally did not overplay that over on the right-hand side, he would have been there to be able to take a shot on that, and then Thomas comes right back the other way. I like that about this Thomas team, man. They come right back. And they break out into transition really quickly. And that's a lot of fun to watch. 26 even left to play now here in the second half. So in our 15th minute here in the second half, 2 40-minute halves. I almost said quarters, but quarters is fourth, Spaz, man. And something wrong with that ball. So they're getting rid of it. Wonder if it's losing air or something, or maybe it went off of Schuessler's head and broke. I don't know. Did I say that out loud? Owen knows I only pick because I love. What do you think I'd say to you? Wait, that was Mason, wasn't it? Yeah, that was Mason on that one. So, what do you think I'd say to you if I didn't like you? Absolutely nothing. 25:15 left to play, 1-1. Trying to break this 1-1 tie. Now, if you don't already know, if it's tied at the end of regulation play, we'll have a 10-minute sudden victory overtime session. If we're still tied at the end of that session, we will play another 10-minute overtime sudden victory session. If we're still tied at the end of that, we've got a tie. We're only going to go to penalty kicks in the sectionals or state play. Now that's Volpe over there, isn't it? I don't think we've seen much action from him thus far today. 24-24 left to play, sent down and in, and nice job by the Titan player to let that go through to Reek so he can push everybody else up and give it the old drop kick. A lot of air, lands right at midfield. Poisson plays it, and him and Jarvis are going to get together. Jarvis hops right back up. Nice job by that young man to hop right back up. Corey Jarvis, 5 and 3. 5 goals and 3 assists. One of those 5 goals, as I have said previously, the one that beat Canandaigua when they played on the 15th of September. 23:43 left to play. And Canandaigua sends it up along the far side, gives it to Mullally, and it's going to get kicked out of bounds. And Mullally is going to try to come back with the quick throw in, but it's substitution time. Mullally really wanted to push the envelope. He wanted to, push the pace there, but had to settle down. He gets it to Lawrence, who gets it back to Mullally, who does a good job of chesting it down over here to Cole Burke. Griffin Harview, right lane over to Elliott. Elliott's going to battle one-on-one, comes away with it, but he's going to give it to the Titans. And here come Webster Thomas in transition up to midfield at the circle. Harview going up against the double deuce of Cole Hastings. Definite size advantage to Hastings. Now pinballs around a little bit. Here's Hastings, picks it up on the near side. Hastings looks like he's about a senior in college from my vantage point. And Canandaigua was going to clear it out of there, but Lawrence is unable to run it down, so the Titans will retain possession. Far corner, 22-15, 1-1. Knotted up. 3 shots now for Canandaigua. And Lawrence with the pocket pick over on the right side. He carries it up, sends it down. Mullally, it's a foot race. And Mullally does not lose a lot of foot races. He was in it with Brendan Adams, the senior, for the Titans. Adams kicks it out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Canandaigua with 21:45 left to play here in the final frame. I know there's only 2 frames to play, but I've already run down the scenario if we have to go to overtime. And whether you call it sudden death or sudden victory, either way, first one in gets the win. And this game is taking on that type of characteristic, that type of landscape with 21:10 left to play, knotted up at 1. 4 saves now for Howard. 2 saves for Reek off of 3 shots. 4 saves off of 8 shots by Webster Thomas. So with the foul, the kick will go to Webster Thomas right around the 40. That'll be a direct kick. He can put it right in. Oh, and it's going to angle way over to the left. Now Jarvis tried to bring it down and control it, but it's going to go over to the sideline on the far side, right in front of the Canandaigua bench. Canandaigua with the interception goes to Mullally. Here come Mullally and Lawrence. Nice ball for Lawrence, and Reek is going to come out and make the save. I'll tell you what, I'm glad those two did not connect. You know what I mean? That was a great ball. Maybe just a hair too strong by Mullally, but Lawrence did everything he could to run that down. And I'll tell you what, if he was the kind of player that wanted to wreck the goalie to go for the ball, he could have in that instance, man. 1950 left to play. Turnover. Ball goes to the Titans. They dump it down and in, but Rottingen is going to pick it up. Here's Cole Burke. And Thomas is going to pick Griffin Harview's pocket. Now here is a restart over on the near side here. Rottingen, I'll tell you, he's another one of those players. Not the tallest, not the biggest, but that doesn't keep him from getting in there and scrapping. He's a scrappy little dude, man. You know that Liam Fermansky is too. No doubt about it. 19 even left to play. Numbers still the same. 4 saves for Howard on 8 shots by the Titans. 2 saves for Reek on 3 shots by the Braves. 18:50 left to go. Goal kick. Mason Burke now in to do the goal kick duties for Canandaigua. Here's Rottingen, and it's going to go out of bounds off of Canandaigua. So it'll be a throw-in for the Titans. And I like the way the game just keeps on moving. All right, so a pinball's around. We got a little scrum going here on the sideline, and the Titans are going to come out of it with the ball. Nice centering pass, and I think Howard got a piece of that. And the rebound comes out. And with Howard out of position, that would have been a great opportunity for a rebound shot. And I do believe that was Boston DeWitt. Yeah, it was. Thank you, man. Boston DeWitt, man, he wants that one back. All he had to do was touch that one in and just a little too strong and ended up going over the crossbar. Hey, we've had that door open all night long, and that breeze is starting to get just a little chilly. Might have to close that door in a minute, but with 17:30 left to play, 1-1, focused on this game. A good back-and-forth battle. Only one more to go for Canandaigua at Hilton on Friday. And Schussler sends it down and in right off of the bounce from the official, dropping it right in front of him, but it's going to go out of bounds. Little off to the right, trying to send it down into the box and create a little bit of chaos, create a little opportunity, make something happen, but it's going to result in a goal kick for Reek and the Titans with 16:50 left to play, knotted up at ones. Angles off to the left-hand side, and that's off of the head of, looks like Canandaigua, so it'll be a throw-in for Jarvis. Man, he throws it in right away, too, way down line. But Mason Burke right there to make the play, and he is going to send it back up to Austin. I believe, I can't tell from way over there. Is that Harview? Going to pinball around and go out of bounds. Looks like Poisson is going to get, no, that's not Poisson, man. Yeah, 19. 19, and that is Tony Chahada. Tony Chahada. For some reason, I like saying that name, Chahada. 16 left to go. That sounds like a name out of Breaking Bad or something. Hey, what's your name? Tony Chahada. Gus sent me. 15:45, man. Random observations by the Spaz man. You never know what I'm going to say, right? That's a marketing tool. That should be a marketing tool. You never know what Spaz man is going to say. It's a soccer game. He'll talk about racing, wrestling, everything. 15:25 left to play. Just made a Breaking Bad reference. Better Call Saul was a better show. I said it. Rotten Gin with the takeaway. Nice job ahead to Cole Burke, and then Titans with the takeaway. Spachelski comes in with the takeaway from behind. Chahada sends it over to the near side, a little bit too strong for Cole Burke. Cole, get your hands off your shoulders. Never let them see you, or your hips. Never let them see you sweat. First thing a team thinks when they see you with your hands on your hips is, oh, this dude's wearing down. He's gassed. 14:45. Want to once again welcome everybody watching on the Canandaigua School District YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us. And as always, ask that you support those who support Canandaigua Athletics. Athletics wherever you may be watching, and Chosen Spot Radio. So here's the throw-in. Volpe's in. Colbert comes up, picks it up. Nice header to go ahead to Mullally. Mullally tries to get it ahead to Volpe, and it's going to be kicked out of bounds, so it'll be a throw-in for Canandaigua. Under 14 minutes. 13:50 left to play. Volpe trying to get control of it, and it gets sent up by the Titans, but right there to make the play was Harview. Now for Mansky, he's going to go way over to the far side and way to battle through the contact, and then ball is going to go out of bounds off of. It'll go out of bounds off of the Titans, so it'll be a corner kick. $13:05 left to play. This is Canandaigua's third corner. Lawrence sends it. Nice ball. Headed away by Jarvis for the Titans, though, and here come the Titans right in transition. I'll tell you, if any team I've watched all season, the Titans definitely speed. Oh, here's a nice ball for Jarvis. He was onside, but nice job by Schuss to come back and break that up. Was that Schussler? Yeah, that was the Schuss. Nice job by Schussler to come in and break that up. And you can see Jarvis. Jarvis does not hide his frustration very well. You can tell he's a little upset that he was not able. That was a great breakaway and a great transition. Great ball for Jarvis. He was just unable to finish because he was going one-on-one with Schussler. Now Jarvis is going to pick it up right in the slot. He also does a nice job of trying to direct traffic and set things up, and that's what leaders do. Nice job on the ball movement by the Titans, but it's going to go down in, and Howard is going to get burned, and what a great save by Mason Burke. What a great job by Mason Burke to recognize that he had to be back. Howard was out of position. It got by him, and Mason Burke with a player of the game style save right there to keep this thing at 1-1. Wow. I'll tell you what, Howard is going to come down. He's going to make the play. He comes offline. He comes up right around the 5, 6, 7 yard line to make that play, and he is going to possess that ball. Boy, I'll tell you what, that was a spotlight play by Mason Burke. Now let's see if Canandaigua can transition into some offense here and get a good look at Reek. They've only been able to get 3 shots off, whereas the Titans have gotten off 10. And they dump it down. Rottingen right there to make the play. It's going to go out of bounds. No, that's Schuss, my brother. Not 13, it's 31. Let's see, 13 is Rottingen, right? Yeah. I misread that. 31 is a 13. 10:30 left to play, man. What a great game. This is a good battle. This is a good battle. Nobody's given up. No quarter has been given. 10:20 left to play. Nobody has been playing lazy at all. Now, I'll tell you, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to talk about him. I'm going to talk about this Jarvis kid, this Corey Jarvis. He lulls you into thinking he's slow and tired and could care less, and then he burns you. I've seen him do it a couple times. The first time I looked at him, I went, oh, this dude, he didn't get off the bus tonight. He's made a fool out of me. He's made me look like a knucklehead because, like I said, he lulls you into one thing. Oh, is Mullally over here on the near side. He wanted that one. He made a nice move to get around Charlie Petzing, the freshman, and ended up going out of bounds. Here it is, kicked out of bounds off the throw-in, and that'll be another throw-in for the Titans. So, like I said, that Jarvis dude, when he hits the nitrous, he'll put a whooping on you. It's fun to watch. 9:10 left to play here in the final frame. Harvey is going to control it with the foot. Tries to go to Furmansky, too strong, and Wolf was there. Furmansky sends it down to Mullally. Mullally feeds Wolf. Wolf sends it out in front. Oh, man, I'll tell you, he was trying to find Lawrence. Lawrence on the break to the nylon, but Reek is going to come out and intercept that pass and make the play. This is just a good game, folks. This is a good game. I don't care what the papers say. I don't care what any records are. This has been a fun one to watch. And hopefully the call is doing it justice. Centering to Jarvis. And Jarvis just missed getting ahead on that and challenging Colby Howard. Man, that was close. Another great opportunity off the transition. And like I said, not to beat a dead horse, I think of the teams I've seen thus far this year, Webster Thomas definitely, I would have to say, the top team in getting into transition. There's 2, there's 3, there's 4. I'm going to call that a header 4, and I know that's the most. 4 headers that we have seen thus far this season in a row consecutively. Here is Austin Wolf over on the far side. He gets his pocket picked from behind, and here we see Thomas coming away into that transition. Carries it a long time, though. Goes through a whole bunch of defenders to Jarvis on the right hand or left-hand side, and Jarvis is going to hit the right footer with 7:31 to go. I'll tell you what, that was, a fun one to watch, but it comes at 7:31, and the Titans, let me see here, Jarvis, not sure who he got that from, but that one comes at 7:31. Brian, did you see who that was that dribbled down and gave him the ball? I can't, man. Boy, I'll tell you what, that dude worked hard. He went through a good 3 or 4 defenders, and you got to put a body on him. You got to do something, man. 2-1. And I'll tell you what, this is one of those games that it stinks that someone has to lose. Here's Mullally off the first touch, gets his pocket picked. And he's going to come back and in poker, we'd call that going full tilt. In poker, we call that going full tilt, where you make a mistake and then you come back and you push in because you're mad. That's kind of what we saw there from Mullally, but play on. 7 minutes left to go. 2-1. Thomas now leading Canandaigua. 12 shots. 7 saves on 12 shots for Canandaigua. 2 saves on 3 shots for the Titans. Jarvis, right place, right time. And I'll tell you what, that took a nice bounce off of the carpet. And Jarvis didn't try to settle it, control it. He just went air and put it right past Howard. There wasn't a whole lot Howard could do. There really wasn't. Jarvis did a good job of putting it where Howard wasn't. 6:15 left to play. Now time becomes more of a factor with Canandaigua having to play from behind. It becomes that much more of a factor. Jarvis with the throw in. More downline than straight across. Pinballs around. I believe that was Poisson over on the far side, and it's going to go out of bounds right to the Canandaigua bench. And everybody pushing up, so it'll be a throw-in for the Braves. With 5:40 left to play, the Titans off of the Jarvis goal take the 2-1 lead. And that was number 6 for Corey Jarvis, the senior. And speaking of seniors, like I said at the beginning on the outset of the show, most likely the last home soccer game for the seniors here at Canandaigua. And the throw-in, first touch for the Titans. 5 minutes to play. The Titans come away with it down the left alley. Mason Burke in on the defense, and he's going to come away with the ball. Does a good job of sealing out, turns, going upfield, down line. Misses Mullally, but Lawrence is going to come in and get a piece of it, but it's going to go out of bounds off of Jonah Lawrence. 4:30. Every second counts now for the Braves. Not the first time we've seen this happen, though. Canandaigua hangs and bangs. They hang into it, and then something happens, midway through the second or a little later on, and it doesn't give them a whole lot of time to try and fight back, but they do have 4 minutes left. And what do we have over on the far side? It'll be a throw-in for Formansky. They turn on it, send it down line along the far side, and it's going to go out of bounds off of the Titans and be a throw-in for the Braves. So 3:45 left to play, trailing 2-1. 7 saves on 12 shots for Canandaigua. 2 saves on 3 shots for Thomas. Schus with the throw-in, pinballs around, and it's going to come all the way out. Everybody up for Canandaigua. Everybody up for the Braves. Then Poisson is just going to give it a boot, and it's going to go out of bounds over there right by the Webster Thomas Titans bench. 3:05 left to play. 2-1. Thomas leading Canandaigua. Shoes tries to turn on it. Can't get a lot on it, so it's going to get sent up here to Spachelski. Spachelski with a good ball for Lawrence. Just a little too strong, though. But the clear kick by Reek may have got deflected, but it didn't go very far, and it's going to go out of bounds off of Acuff. So throw-in will be the Titans. And now the Titans, you would think, with that 2-1 lead, and they're going to do that. Just nitpick, going to take their time on the throw-in. Use as much. Here's Harvey on the first touch. Harvey feeds the Acuff down to Spachelski. Lawrence turns on the double team. Look at this. He's bringing 3 and 4 players with him. Somebody's got to be open. Lawrence on the near side. Again, drawing a lot of attention. Finds Furmansky. Furmansky looking for help. Finds it in Harvey on the slot. They go over to the right side to Burke. Sends it down to Mullally. It gets dumped back over here now to the near side. 1:50 left to play. Canandaigua. Poisson to Acuff. Acuff puts it on goal. Oh, it goes off the crossbar. Wait a second. Now it goes off the crossbar. I heard the whistle. Yep, unfortunately. Yeah, what's that? Yeah, they're going to say it. Yes, they're saying it because it hit the crossbar of the goal, of the soccer goal, and then bounced up and hit off the bottom of the upright, of the football upright. And then came down, and Canandaigua was able to kick it in, but it goes out. Now Canandaigua, it looks like, is going to have a corner kick. So Furmansky is going to take it, and we've got a $1:35 left to play. Boy, I knew that wasn't good because I heard the official's whistle when it hit. Here's the header, and Reek off of the corner is going to make the save. Now he comes out here, and I'll tell you, he had 2 guys on the breakaway. He had 2 guys that got just a little bit ahead of Burke and Schussler on defense. And if he had a little more leg in that thing, Canandaigua might have been in a little bit of trouble, man. 1:05 left to play. Schussler with the free kick. Boom, he's going to put it down out in front. Canandaigua needs something good to happen here. It pinballs around inside the box. Mullally can't get a piece of it, so Elliott's going to go over there, and they're going to call the push on Elliott. Elliott did get a little physical, did push the guy down, and they called it 40 seconds. Now, you would imagine that they're going to take as much time as they can here. Absolutely, man. He's going to take as much time as possible. 30 down to 30. Absolutely. And nobody putting any pressure on him to hurry him along at all. And ball is going to pinball around over on the far side, come down to the Titans. 20 seconds. 20 seconds. Canandaigua needs a stop here. They need a stop, and they're not going to get it as Poisson is going to be called for the push from behind, and that will be the final nail in the coffin, and Canandaigua is going to lose this thing 2-1. So they'll lose their 3rd in a row, and Thomas will win their 3rd in a row, and they, again, have nothing to hang their heads about. They came up short, but if games are won and lost on effort, Canandaigua would have won that game because they tried. They tried, let's put it that way. Yeah, so I don't know. In a game like that, and such a balanced effort by Canandaigua, you have to find something. You have to find something that you can hang the kicks on main player of the game on. And I think it's just the bottom line is going to be Zane Mullally for scoring Canandaigua's only goal. You have to give a big shout out to the defense, especially that save by Mason Burke. That deal where the ball got by Howard, who was out of position, couldn't go anywhere, couldn't make a play, and Mason Burke was right there to do that. Owen Schussler doing his thing, everybody doing their thing. And it was a good, balanced team effort by Canandaigua. And I think the only thing to me, Brian, tell me if I'm wrong, I think the only thing to me that stands out that could be recognized and separated from everything else is Zane Mullally scoring that goal. and he did have some help from Liam Fermansky on the give and go. So there you go. Canandaigua falls 2-1 to Webster Thomas, and what I think was a great game. That was a great game. They will fall to 4-8-3, and Thomas will improve to 10-3-1. So Thomas will reach double digits. They are at Penfield. They closed their season out with 4 roadies. They closed their season out with 5 of 6 road games, and Canandaigua will be on the road at Hilton on Friday. And as I said earlier, anybody wants to, get together and sponsor that game, get a hold of me, and we'll make it happen, no doubt about it. So there you have it. I am the Spaz Man, your round mound of sound, reminding you to always do your best, to be your best. There you see Brian with a nice view of the Canandaigua Braves coming over and getting some adulation from their fans, friends, and family. The 3 Fs, fans, friends, and family. And they have absolutely nothing to hang their heads about. Colby Howard did a good job in goal, back in goal. Held Webster Thomas to 2 goals. So Thomas sweeps the season over Canandaigua, 1 goal in each game. So I think that was just a great game that you saw here on the Canandaigua School District YouTube channel and live on Chosen Spot Radio. I'm the Spaz Man, your round mound of sound, reminding you to always do your best, to be your best. Never let the pursuit of what you want interfere with appreciating what you already have. And remember, falling down is not the problem. Staying down is. Follow us on social media at Chosen Spot Radio. Love each and every one of you. Be good to one another. See ya.